Metroid Dread is experiencing amazing sales right now, so why?
Why now?
I never understood why Metroid wasn't the top tier franchise that it should have been for Nintendo. And with Mario and Zelda and Kirby and the number of different characters that Nintendo has that all sell extremely well, Metroid was sort of this red-headed stepchild when it came for Nintendo. But I think people are starting to wake up to how cool of a character Samus Aran is. It's the perfect time for this kind of character, especially with the Metroid Prime game still in the works. People love those first-person action shooters, and Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 were the best in the business. But the 2.5D version of Metroid, first one in 20 years, people are starting to give it a look, and what they're finding is an amazing game. It is already the #1 seller in the UK, and it's also the #1 seller on Amazon's US and UK charts. This is going to be the first Metroid game to break 5 million sales, and this is going to be, I'm going to call it, this is the birth or the rebirth of Samus Aran for Nintendo. She will be right up there with Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Kirby. It's going to be another huge franchise going forward. And again, this just bodes incredibly well because all the new people coming in, playing this game and loving it, are going to be reintroduced, some of them introduced for the first time, to Samus Aran in the world of Metroid. And then when Metroid Prime 4 hits, it is going to sell crazy numbers because people are going to want to see what this is all about. The interest in Metroid is through the roof right now. I absolutely love it. So let's talk about that debut in the UK. So it's the #1 selling game in the history of the franchise in the UK, but despite the debut, it's behind FIFA 22 and Far Cry 6. But here's something to think about. It's #3 right now in the UK, the #1 selling game of all time, Metroid in the UK, and it's third behind FIFA and Far Cry, both of which are available on multiple platforms. So a brand new Metroid game, first time seeing this kind of success in the UK, and it's #3 on the charts. Now you fast forward to the US and Amazon's US UK charts, and it is the top seller there as well. Now the eShop, it's #1 on the eShop in multiple regions. And even though Nintendo doesn't disclose digital sales, think about that for a second. In the UK, biggest launch ever for the series, US and UK Amazon top seller, and on the eShop in multiple regions, it's #1 digitally. So when you factor in the physical, when you factor in the digital, when you factor in the huge interest in this character, when you factor in the quality of this game, the reviews are through the roof. This franchise, again, if you're somebody who's loved Metroid, it's a rebirth. If you don't know anything about Samus Aran and Metroid, it's a birth of a new character for Nintendo. Loving it. I'm waiting for my copy to come as we speak. I ordered it through Amazon. Fastest delivery I possibly could. I wanted to get that collector's edition, the steel book, the art book. Again, sold out, and I don't want to spend ridiculous amounts of money for really slimeball people who are doing this scalping thing. But I'm loving the fact that Samus Aran is back, and I've been waiting for that 4th Metroid Prime game. Again, if you played those Metroid Prime games, they're the best, absolutely the best shooters, action, adventure, exploration, the character, her abilities, the moveset, the puzzles, it's unbelievable. And the more people that get eyes on Metroid, the more people that love the gameplay, they're reintroduced or introduced to Samus Aran and her abilities in Metroid Dread. When they take that experience and then Metroid Prime 4 comes out and they go from 2.5D to full 3D, it's going to be incredible. And if Nintendo's smart, they're going to get Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 on an HD pack soon on the Switch. Maybe that'll happen right around the time Metroid Prime 4 is dropping. So when you look at the critical reception and you combine it with Switch's large player base, it could give Metroid Dread, in theory, a chance to break the series' long-held sales record. Now, to be objective here, when Metroid Prime 3 came out, it was on the Wii, and that had a huge player base, and it didn't result in the sales success, breaking the records that Nintendo hoped for. So we have to put it in perspective. But I think the situation is a bit different now. I think more eyes are on Nintendo. People are more willing to check out what they have, especially gamers who may have traditionally been looking for hardcore experiences. And with the advent of this battle between PlayStation and Xbox and this buying up of everything and throwing everything in a service or throwing everything on a cloud, I think some people are just looking for good games that have a beginning, a middle, and end. There's a quality there when they release, and you don't have to be fed everything piecemeal through an online pouch. Online pouch? What the hell am I talking about? An online patch, or pay for DLC when it should be there from the beginning. So all in all, I think this is going to be the highest selling Metroid game of all time. I think Samus Aran is back in a big way. I think the quality of this title is really going to highlight just how careful and meticulous Nintendo is with their games and their characters, and I think a lot of people are going to like that. It's going to resonate with a lot of gamers. Let me know what you think. Do you think this will be the first Metroid game to sell 5 million copies or even 3 million copies? That's the record, I believe, but I think it's going to sell well past 3 million, especially going into the holiday. I'm super excited for the return of Samus Aran and Metroid. Can't wait to play the first 2.5D Metroid game in 20 years, and I cannot wait for Metroid Prime 4. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. Where is that HD remastered or remake or whatever of the first 3 Metroid Prime games for the Switch? Nintendo, you can release them one at a time. That's something Nintendo would do and everybody would scream about it. Metroid Prime 1 for $60, then Metroid Prime 2 for $60. Guess what? Yep, I'd buy them all and I'd love playing them. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Think about subscribing to the channel, sharing the video out on your favorite social media platform of choice. At the very least, hit that like button. It helps me grow the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.